Hi there. In this video we're going to have a look at attaching machine heads 3 aside to our headstock. With the LP1, which is the guitar I've got here, you can see there's 3 machine hole positions either side of the headstock. That's the same with the SG1 and the MB1. The other guitars like the ST1 have 6 in a line. So today we're going to look at 3 aside. So you'll need your guitar, you'll need a drill with your drill bits, a screwdriver. Good idea is to have a metal rule as well. And you'll need your 6 machine heads, which come with a few components. So what we'll do is we'll get the camera in and we'll have a look what you need here. Alright, so as I said, you need your drill, you'll need a screwdriver, a metal rule, your drill bits, and the 6 machine heads which come with your pack. Now there's a few components to these. There's the actual machine head, there's a washer which fits over the machine head on the front of the guitar, and a sleeve with a hexagonal nut attached, and that screws in the face of the headstock into the machine head which sits at the back, and that keeps it in there. And what the last thing we add is a little screw there which screws into the hole, as you can see in the headstock there. There's a little hole just at the side there. So with the 3 aside machine heads, there's one thing you need to work out first. That's which way is tightening and which way is loosening. Don't make the mistake that I made and put them on the wrong way around. It's very frustrating. Okay, let's have a closer look at these machine heads. Here's one here, and I'm pointing it towards the camera there. So if you imagine that sitting through the back of the guitar and the spindle's coming out and the string's coming through, I'm going to tighten the string. So I'm turning anti-clockwise, and I'm watching the spindle, and the spindle is turning that way, or clockwise from where you're looking. And as you can imagine, that's the wrong way, because the string comes underneath and around and tightens by going anti-clockwise. So the one on the with the screw hole on the left, that's obviously for the bottom of the headstock. So I'll grab another one here, and this has got the screw hole on the right. So I'll check this one, and I'm turning that, imagining it going through the headstock of the guitar, and there you go. That's actually turning that way. So when the string comes through there, it will tune up as I'm tuning up. So there you go. So the one on the right is for the top, and the one with the screw hole on the left is for the bottom. Alright, so let's start with the ones for the top of the headstock. I've got the headstock here, and I'm looking at the back of the headstock. So this spindle needs to go through the back there, and they just sit in there nice and easily. So I'll put all 3 of the top ones in, and look, the screw holes are facing to the right. You can see that. There's the screw holes just there. So I've got all 3 in now, and while I'm here I'll put in the bottom ones. So there you go, there's the 6 machine heads just sitting loosely in place, and you can see that the screw holes are facing towards the back of the guitar on both sides. So perhaps that's another easier way to remember how they go. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to keep those in place while we work on the front of the guitar. So what you need to do is carefully hold those and turn your guitar over. Okay, we've turned the guitar over now so we can work from the front. What I'll do is I'll grab, I've separated the machine heads into top and bottom, so I know which ones go which way. So I'll put one of these in, and this is for the E string. Now, the next thing that goes on the guitar is this small washer. And you'll notice it's actually concave, or convex, depending which way you look at it. So you want the concave side down, so it's actually sitting like that. And then you grab the sleeve, which looks like that, and you put the sleeve in, and you start turning clockwise, and it should actually grab the thread, and it will, when you get that finger tight, there you go, the machine head will stay in place. So we want to repeat that for all 6 of those machine heads. Now when it comes to lining up these 3 in line, 3 aside machine heads, I'm not really sure there's any particular way to do it apart from judge it by sight. So what I like to do is just keep them finger tight and play around with the angles of them and put them all like that so they're perpendicular to the headstock. So I'll make them all perpendicular to the headstock, and we'll just see how they look. Okay, if I hold that up to the camera, and there you go there. So really you're just trying to judge by eye how straight those are and then move them accordingly. What I might do is actually turn all the machine heads around so now they're parallel to the headstock, and I'll just see if that makes any difference by line of sight. So there you go, and I've got to say they look pretty good. So look, I'm happy with that. There is one final check you can do, and that's if you grab a metal ruler and you place it across both machine heads, you can actually see how they line up straight down the rule. You should be able to get them right in the middle and have equal parts either side. So they look pretty good. They look pretty good. And there you go, that one's a little bit out there, so I'll bring him back. There you go, that last one looks great. So the last step now is to screw these 6 small screws into the back of the head, into the back of the machine heads here where the screw holes are. So there's 6 and they're all pointing down, remember? So we need our drill bit. We need to match our drill bit to those tiny little screws. And you can see that we don't have to go in very far. There's really only, what, 3 or 4 mils there. So I'll set up the drill and we'll drill those and screw that in. Alright, there you go. I've set up the drill bit now and I've actually just put that in about 5 mils. So it doesn't go any further than it needs to. And it definitely doesn't need to go right through the headstock. Make sure you don't make that mistake. I'll just actually check that drill bit there. And yep, that's fine. That's definitely not going to go through the headstock. Alright, so with our machine heads in place, all we need to do now is drill those screw holes and then screw in the screws. Alright, there you go. I've drilled those 6 holes now. Blow out the dust. And now we just need to grab our 6 screws and screw those in. And there you go. There's our 6 screws screwed into the back of our machine heads. I'm pretty happy with that.